Hello students, welcome back to a new video of Sunanda's tutorial. In this video, we will discuss important MCQs on genetics. So at first, on the basics of the genetics like history, variation, Mendelism, Mendelian factors, laws of Mendel, laws which are derived by Mendel. So the first question is, on which plant Mendel had carried out his investigation. So he carried out his experiment on garden pea. The year 1900 AD is highly significant for genetics due to Mendelian rediscovery. So Mendelian laws was rediscovered by some scientists in 1900 AD. During breeding, the removal of anther from a flower is called emasculation. It is carried out by the artificial breeding program. When heterozygous tall plant of F1 generation or first filial generation upon self-fertilization or selfing produces tall and dwarf phenotypes, it proves principle of segregation. Okay, because in F1 generation, the tall and dwarf alleles are present togetherly, but in F2 generation, they segregate from each other. Mendel formulated law of purity of gametes on the basis of his monohybrid cross. In monohybrid cross, he studied only one characteristic feature, the inheritance of only one characteristic feature. Mendelian monohybrid ratio is 3:1. It is the phenotypic ratio, and genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. One purely tall, two homozygous condition, and one purely dwarf variety. A cross between capital A, small a, capital B, and small a, capital B yields a genotype ratio of 1 capital A, small a, capital B, with 1 small a, capital B. Okay. Next question. In monohybrid cross, what are the ratio of homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive? It is 1:1, because here it is the result of F2 generation in monohybrid cross. Here homozygous dominant is capital T, and homozygous recessive is small t. So their ratio is 1:1. Back cross is a cross between F1 generation and any of the parent, the plant of first filial generation with any of their parent, and cross between recessive to its hybrid or its first filial generation plant is called test cross. F1 plant with the recessive parent, homozygous recessive parent, is called test cross. What is the genotype and phenotypic ratio of monohybrid test cross? It is 1:1. And what is the genotypic and phenotypic ratio of dihybrid test cross? It is 1:1:1:1. What is the ratio of the progeny of cross between F1 heterozygous and recessive? It is 1:1. Dihybrid cross proves law of independent assortment, and these three laws are proved from the monohybrid cross. How many type and in what ratio the gametes are produced by dihybrid heterozygous? There are 4 types in ratio of 1:1:1:1. Okay. How many gametes are produced in F1 generation of a trihybrid? It is 8. Which genotype represents 2 dihybrid condition? It is capital T, small t, capital R, small r. Okay. Among these 4 options, Mendel enunciated how many principles? So 4. One is law of dominance, next law of segregation, then law of purity of gamete, and law of independent assortment. Next, Mendelian ratio 9:3:3:1 is due to law of independent assortment. Okay. Next, the dihybrid ratio is 9:3:3:1. Okay. Next, capital A, capital B, small b, capital C, small c, genotype forms how many types of gametes? So they can produce 4 types of gametes. Next, who rediscovered the results of Mendel's experiment? De Vries, Sturmark and Correns. So here in question number 2 I have asked about the in year 1900 AD highly significant for geneticists due to the Mendelian rediscoveries. So this Mendelian factor was rediscovered by these three scientists.